certain, evils and all that. I don't want us to get there because this country has traveled a long while to reach where we are. A lot of sacrifices and all that. And that we should not sacrifice, it on the altar of winning power. No. There is power all the time, but we must think about the state. This state must exist before you look for anything called power to administer it.
But is it fair to expect, political leaders to abstain from these things when in reality, those who abstain lose? It's those who distribute resources, those who, share inducements, they're the ones who win. So is it even logical to ask for leaders, political leaders, to be the first to blink, to abstain from this kind of behavior in hope that somehow they will still emerge victorious against people who are sharing rice?
Yeah, if we go by this type of logic, then we can even extend it further to say that even if you commit crime, you have the right to live as a human being. Is that what the society is looking forward to? No. Crime is crime. Wrong is wrong. And we need to condemn it. But if you want to play ostrich, the effect will dawn on us sooner than later. In politics, you take a decision, you either get immediate results or the results will come in the future. But whatever form that it will come, you are going to bear the brunt of that. And that is something that we must shy away from. Today, you think that what you are doing will be beneficial to you, but you have left something that will going to be a headache for the society. Is that how we want to build a society?
Now, come with me, Doc, to the central region, where, they were not spared from the drama of this special delegates conference. Kennedy Agyapong was seen in a video, very agitated and accusing party officials of having his polling agents locked in a room and prevented from participating in the exercise. Now, media men were stopped from filming Kennedy Agyapong once this outburst began. Political party executives are upset that this video is going viral. But what is the truth of the matter? Let's go to the UCC quadrangle. Our very own Hayden Essel is there. He's been following events. Hayden, what exactly went down and how did the media end up being prevented from filming what was occurring? If we can have you unmute so that we can hear what you're saying, Hayden. It's difficult to follow. Let's get
Hello.
Hayden. There you are. Yeah, so you were saying.
Yeah. So after Honorable finished casting his vote, he said that he is now going around to be an observer. And so he left the election grounds. He wasn't even close. And then the media people were still at the election grounds when we heard that there was a bit of an issue with the phone call that he was making. So we rushed there, and it seemed the phone call had just blown out of proportion, if you can say that. And he was fuming that some of his polling agents have been prevented from going to the party, the election ground to monitor the elections for his camp. And so he was very angry, and then he said part of his words were that he promises Baumia, the vice president, and then the president's a showdown. He was very angry as to who called and who he later called to make those remarks. We don't know. But when when I got there and tried to take some video, some of his people around him tried to push our phones away. So it was very difficult to take a video. And then later we could see that some party officials were going around making remarks that how is the video out, and then they seemed very upset that the video was out.
Have you had any limitation to the scope?
That's the issue here.
Have you been limited as media in any way to the scope of what you can cover, which areas you can film in since this event happened? Is there any kind of limit on your movement in the voting area?
A lot of limits. For instance, since the beginning of the election today here at the UCC quadrangle, the media is not allowed to go close to where the election is actually being held. So we are outside, not even closer. So we can't even take pictures of the delegates while they are casting ballots. So it's been very difficult. The security has been very tight. So it's been a bit difficult to get to certain areas. So the media is trying to be all around wherever an issue is. So sometimes something can happen somewhere, and because of security restrictions, it's been very difficult to go to certain areas. But for now, the media is not allowed to get anywhere where the voting is actually taking place.
Right. Thank you for that update, Hayden. We'll be coming back to you for more. Now, check your watch. It's 1 o'clock. Voting has closed across the country. There is absolutely nothing any of these contenders can do to affect the outcome beyond this point. Now it's a matter of collation. And of course, we will be keeping a close eye on how that happens. The media were kept at a distance from the voting process, but for the collation process, in order for it to be transparent, the media will have to have eyes on. Our very own Samuel Mbura is at the headquarters here in Accra. So, Mbura, tell us, with what level of fanfare did the voting come to an end, and how have the collation processes started to shape up?
There's tension actually mounting here at the headquarters of the MPP because voting has come to an end. We know that the National Council members and the top hierarchy of the party, this is where they came to cast their ballots, about 203 of them, and then the exercise started at 9 a.m. and it has come to an end. So sorting and counting is underway. But before then, they had to call in the SWAT unit of the Ghana Police Service to come and take control of security. So at the moment, they are inside the premises of the MPP headquarters here. They've even mounted a barricade inside. But in the front of the gate, you also see police officers ready to control the crowd, and everything is in order here. Everyone, or the supporters here, are really patiently waiting for the outcome of the voting here at the party's headquarters. We had a number of dignitaries coming to cast their ballots here. Just about 30 minutes ago, I spoke with the Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame, and then he was happy about the exercise so far at the headquarters here. So those we have spoken to have not expressed any issues with the process so far. They think it has been smooth. They think the MPP is actually exhibiting democracy to the NDC, because they say they believe in the rule of law, and that is what they are showing Ghanaians today. So far, I must say the exercise has been peaceful at the headquarters, and it has come to an end. So, as you can see, they are calling the media to come in. So let me just take you in to show you what is currently happening in the premises of the MPP headquarters. So, like I said, security is very, very tight here. And for you to go inside, you have to maneuver your way through. So this is how the inside of the election area or the voting area is like at the MPP headquarters. So right in my shorts are the SWAT unit of the Ghana police personnel. They have taken position to ensure that the crowd is controlled. So we have the Greater Accra Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service, COP Dr. Gariba, in the middle there, ensuring that his men control the crowd. So the media has been allowed to get into the premises of the MPP headquarters for us to monitor the exercise. So we have the EC officials now bringing out trying to prepare the stage for them to do the sorting and the counting. So we have one of the officers lifting the ballot box. It's actually one ballot box here that contains all the 203 votes that were cast by the delegates. So the sorting is about to begin. We have the agents for all the aspirants, 10 aspirants. I can see the agent for Dr. Koneru Apreko, Mr. Nkansa. I can see Hobson Adaye for Alan Chamantin. I can also see the rest of the agents for the other aspirants, with the elections director of the MPP, Evans Nimako, having a bit of conversation with them. So they are now going to pour the ballots on the table that the EC has mounted in the middle of the MPP headquarters, the premises of the MPP headquarters, and then the sorting would begin. So security is very, very, very tight here, Kojo. I must say, and everyone is waiting patiently to hear the results from the headquarters of the MPP. So this particular center constitutes the largest among all the 17 across the country, followed by the Ashanti region that has about 119 delegates casting their ballot. So if you ask me, I must say that it is somehow an impatient atmosphere whilst the EC officials are engaging the agents of the various aspirants before they can start the sorting of these ballot papers, and then the counting would begin. So most of the party executives are also here. The election committee members are also around, even though some of them have declined not to speak to us on record. They are waiting for us to finish the process, then they can share their views. But outside the premises of the MPP headquarters, we have supporters patiently waiting for the results to be declared. And then from here, we'll move to the Electoral Commission's office, where they will have the entire declaration of those the entire results of this election. So this is where we'll determine who makes it to the next stage of the MPP's Delegates Congress in November 4. So after today, we have the number trimmed down to 5 from 10. So Kojo, we are monitoring. You can take over from me in the studio. Whatever the updates may be, we'll surely link up and then bring you the feed here.
It's our very own Samuel Mbura, who is at the NPP headquarters. Now, the Greater Accra Regional Center for Voting was actually the YMCA. Let's go there. Let's see how the collation process is beginning. Our very own Richard Kojo Nyakon is on standby. Richard, what sort of, was it an eventful day, and how have the collation processes begun?
Well, Kojo, so welcome to the YMCA Center, and this is where the Greater Accra Region voted.
Who's sailing. As I speak with you, voting has ended and the sorting is underway. And I can tell you that in a matter of 10 minutes, we should know who among them will form the first 5. And the supporters and delegates have all gathered here. In fact, the place has been cordoned off, a lot of security restrictions, and so you can see in your shots that the various polling agents of the various aspirants, they are keenly monitoring the process to ensure that there are no untoward actions or decisions that are taken. And so it's been generally smooth. We've been having conversations with the communications minister, a lot of the members of parliament here. Some of them think that this actual process was not that necessary. In fact, they allude to cost and time wasting. They felt that if there were about 20 people or 30 people that were contesting, they should have allowed them to contest rather than organizing a special delegate conference to actually whittle down the number to 5, and then in November they will go for another round. They feel that it is time consuming, and it is also sapping a lot of the energy of these people that are actually contesting for the exams, because they have to travel around the country to woo or sway voters to their side in order for voting to be done. And so very soon counting will begin, but right now it is sorting that is currently underway. Kojo.
Thank you, Richard. And of course, let's keep those images on the screen because these are coming from the 2 centers here in Accra, the YMCA and the NPP headquarters, where the collation process has begun. As you can see, the electoral officials are counting and sorting the votes, and in a matter of minutes, we will know the outcomes from there. We can go right now to the Upper West region, where they wasted absolutely no time in putting numbers together. Our very own Rafiq Salam has been there for that collation process. Rafiq, are we already seeing numbers coming through?
We are done here in the Upper West region, and then I can tell you that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Vice President, has really won the day. Out of the 32 votes that were cast here, he got 23. And then following him closely, as Alan Kojo Chiramanten, he got 4 votes. Dr. Akoto Afriye also got 3 votes, and Kennedy Oina Japan also got 2 votes. The rest of the other 6 aspirants got no votes.
Right. Well, that's conclusive. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on that. Now, these are the numbers for the Upper West region, as shared by our very own Rafiq Salam. Thank you, Rafiq. I'm going through those numbers right now. Dr. Bawumia has scored 23 votes in the Upper West region. Dr. Akoto Afriye came second with 3 votes. Alan Chermantin came second with 4 votes, forgive me. Dr. Akoto Afriye came third with 3 votes, and Kennedy Agyapong fourth with 2 votes. The other candidates got no votes. Any reactions to these numbers so far, Rafiq?
For now, we haven't gotten any reaction from the people around. But earlier speaking to the Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Hafiz bin Saleh, and also the regional chairman of the MPP, Chairman Kambare, and then also the Interior Minister, Ambrose Dere, they knew that where the pendulum will swing, and they have been saying where it will go, because they think that their favorite candidate, the man who can lead the MPP, was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So for them, they are not really surprised about the way things have panned out right here. The only person who objected to some of these statements have to be the MP for Lamuse, who's a dying Wu supporter of Alan Kojo Chiramanten, the person of Bright Baligi. He is saying that it will be Alan Chiramanten who, when he leaves, it will at least try to shift the attention of the party from the government, which will liberate the party from the government. And so for now, these are the few reactions that we are here. But the people around here are really satisfied with the result. Majority of them who happens to be led by the chairman of the party, Kambare.
Right, Rafiq, thank you for that. And we'll be getting more from Rafiq Salam later. But the numbers are in for the Upper West region. We now know who got what in that region. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia got 23 votes. Alan Kojo Chiramanten got 4 votes. Dr. Afriye Akoto got 3 votes. Kennedy Agyapong got 2. None of the other candidates got even a single vote in the Upper West region. And that's how the cookie crumbled there. We're bringing you the numbers as they come through from every single region. This is collation time. In a matter of minutes, we'll be getting even more numbers coming through, because as you can imagine, every region has a very small number to collate. It's a super delegates conference. So less than 1% of the total delegates of the NPP participated in this vote. The numbers will be coming through very, very quickly. It will soon become apparent to us who falls where in the hierarchy of things. Dr. Asasante, Upper West, any surprises?
Oh, no, it doesn't surprise anybody. Why am I saying this? Because you are talking in politics. People always gravitate towards those who hail from that region. So always you tend to have some votes in that direction. Quite apart from that, the vice president also, in his position as a vice president, had done a lot of work in that area. And that is how they are paying him off, aside other factors that also influence the choice in that area. Let us remember that this is a very small constituency. So whenever you see, I'm happy, you told the whole world that this is just a small fraction of a lot to come. But at least it gives us something to ponder over and all that. It tells you that there is Bawumia dominance in that area. And if the election went on free and fair, then you realize that his dominance was there, at least for this round.
Now, Dr. Afriye Akoto placed third in the region. He didn't. I remember we spoke about this earlier this week. He didn't even crack your top 5.
Yes.
Do you still stand by that, or do you think he's still an upset?
I stand by all the numbers that I gave you. Yes. It's early days yet. Yes. You I said that day that there's no doubt that he has also served his country well as a former Minister of Agriculture, and agric permeates every shades of life of every Ghanaian in this country, one way or the other. And being a minister, there are, in politics, let me put it this way, there are certain portfolios, when given to you, you become popular overnight. If you look at a portfolio such as finance, you are known. Education and the rest of them. One that comes closer is also what? Agriculture, because it's the mainstay of this country and all that. And if you do your work well, obviously you'll be seen. But I'm saying that his performance, yes, even though, it shows that he's the third person, he marshals some forces. It's early days yet.
But you don't think the visibility he got from his ministerial portfolio will translate across all the regions into votes?
That you can't say for sure for all the regions, because there are a lot of criticisms people have leveled against the work he did in the ministry, that some people believe that they did not see much of him and the rest of it. So it's a mix of factors that are going to play out. But remember that it's just one vote difference from the person following him and all that. You see the constituency with huge numbers, they want to see how it will play out. So it's early day yet. Yeah. 0
for everyone else. I mean, and look at the roster of people. Kwabena Japan, you've got Jogate, all these, people with big political histories. Wachie Jakon, not a single vote in that region.
Yes, it is also an interesting phenomenon there, because why? It tells you that the delegates, perhaps the things they were looking forward to hearing from them, they did not provide that. And it could be one of the reasons why they voted that way. But in party politics, where you see a party, a politician or an actor or a political candidate dominance, you tend to have such results. If that person's personality is over and above the rest of them, you are likely to score 0 if you don't match up in terms of what the people are looking forward to. We've seen that in Ghanaian politics, where when you feel certain candidates in that area, they pull a lot, and you realize that all the small parties virtually run home with something meager or nothing. That is a clear manifestation of what we are seeing here. But having said this, I still maintain that it's early days yet, and we are talking about a small constituency and all that. We'll come to know the big constituencies, and the dynamics definitely will change.
Absolutely. The numbers are pouring in. We're going to be sharing them with you. And, of course, just to explain our process here at your election headquarters, we don't want to give you numbers that are not finalized. So we give you numbers once the collation has been completed, signed by all present, then we share numbers with you. Okay, so you can trust the information you're getting from your election headquarters. We've got such a pedigree in this area, so you know you're tuned into the absolute best. Our guest, Dr. Yao Asa Asante. Dr. Asa Asante, this made you a Yao for
yes.
a reason.
You have given me another name. My father has taken a political notice of this, but you have been pardoned. Move on.
Indeed, I appreciate it. Dr. Asa Asante has been helping us with the analysis of all that we've seen and heard as this process unfolded. Allegations of voting malpractice, allegations of assault, allegations of showing of ballots, and indeed some threats over the phone by one of the candidates, the aspirants, who certainly took exception to what he described as the muzzling and, in fact, the imprisonment of his polling agents and the prevention of these agents, allegedly, from participating in today's process. Voting ended at 1 p.m. And in the next few minutes, from all regions of the country, we will start to get the numbers through. Stay right here on your election headquarters, and we will give you every single figure for your own analysis and additions. Richard Kojo-Nyarko joins us now from the YMCA. Richard, we have numbers, don't we?
Yes, we do. We do have numbers, actually. And they are done collation, they are done counting, and I can give you some figures. Kennedy Ohine Japan secured 15 votes. Kennedy Japan secured 15 votes. Alan Kojo secured 14 votes. Joe Gate had 0 here at the YMCA Center. Kojo Poku had 0. Akoto Osei had 3. Adainimo had 1. Wachi Ejakon had 1. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President, secured 36. Kwabena Japan secured 1. And so these are the figures. Let me go over the figures for you once more. So a total of 72 votes. Kennedy Ohine Japan had 15 votes. Alan Kwejochiremantin had 14. Joe Gate, the former railway minister, had 0. Kojo Poku, energy analyst, had 0. Akoto, a former Greek minister, had 3. Adainimo had 1. Wachi Ejakon had 1. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia secured 36, and Kwabena Japan had 1 vote. And so these are the happenings at the YMCA Center here, where the Greater Accra region voted here. So the entire proceedings has come to a close, and the delegates are still here, but they are left with a final declaration by the Electoral Commission here, from where we will go to the Electoral Commission headquarters for the whole coalition, or the entire coalition from the various regional centers to be done. And so that is what we have here at the YMCA Center.
So a resounding victory for Dr. Bawumia. How are those present responding, these supporters who have gathered themselves at these venues? How are they responding to the YMCA outcome?
In fact, when the sorting was done and they saw the chunk that was dedicated, or that was ostensibly for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they started singing some songs, and they started calling on the Holy Spirit to do something for them. And lo and behold, Dr. Bawumia garnered half of the votes, 50% of the votes here, because he secured 36 and a total of 72 votes that were cast here. So let me just get closer to some of the supporters of the let's get to the Electoral Commission. They are about declaring the official results here at the YMCA Center. I'm told that they are not ready, and so we would wait a while to get the confirmation from them from what all that we have put out. But the news is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has secured 50% of the votes. Kennedy Ohine Japan secured 15. And then the others as follows. Let's catch some reactions from some of the delegates, the people that came to vote here, whether they are satisfied with what really has transpired. Let me get some reaction from them. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Welcome to Joy News.
Thank you very much.
So now the declaration has been done. Yeah. Dr. Bawumia pulled 50% of the vote that was cast here. What's your immediate reaction?
Oh, it's expected of Greater Accra, because this is the seat of government. And probably some people might have been voting based on protest. So it's something that we should expect. But I don't think that will be the true reflection in the next November elections.
Why do you think so?
Because, you know, when you are in government, some people might feel that they need to be sorted out, they need to be listened to, they need to be included in certain areas which they are not, and their views are supposed to be heard, which they are not hearing them. So in this case, people are not voting based on, especially in Greater Accra, not based on certain qualities, but based on emotions. This is something we have realized, and it has to be worked on. Moving forward, we make sure we clear the road.
Who were you tipping was going to win in this contest?
Oh, definitely it's going to be Dr. Bawumia. It's an obvious choice. It is strategically, he's good for the party. It's a product when you sell, it is easier for you than any other candidate. He has the qualities, he has the strength to fight the opponent and everything. So therefore, we are expecting a massive win to send a signal to the whole opposition for them to realize that the party is united behind the candidate. That is what we want to send. But hopefully other areas are very good for us, 70%, 80%. And that sounds good for all of us.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me have a brief interaction with Foreign Affairs Minister, Madam Shirley Ayoko-Botwe. Good afternoon, Madam.
Good afternoon.
So we are done with voting, sorting, counting. Tell me the outcome of this. What is your reaction?
Reaction? My candidate won.
Your candidate?
I'm very happy.
You're very happy?
I'm very happy. And I'd like to just say that for now, he's won. And it looks like he's won in all the other regions. What lies ahead is to work hard. We need to work hard towards the 4th of November, the general vote. And we are all pledging ourselves to work towards that.
Were you expecting more?
I was expecting more. I was expecting more in Greater Accra. Well, at least from this polling station. But it's good. He's won. He's won 50% of the vote, and we go forward and fight.
Does it mean more work?
It means more work, yeah, we're up to the task to work hard to ensure that he gets a very wide margin. He will win, but we want a very wide margin for the 4th of November vote.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me pick some thoughts from Communications Minister Madam Esla Owusu. This is the outcome from the Greater Accra region, where you, at least counting, and we've seen the numbers put to the names as well. Dr. Bawumia had 36, Kennedy Japan had 15, and so on and so forth. Are your expectations?
Oh, we can't just look at Greater Accra. We have to put it all together and then come up with the outcome of the election. I would have expected a bit more for Doc in the Greater Accra region, but we're satisfied that, as we predicted, he's come up tops.
So does it mean more work for you to do coming to the November 4th elections?
We never underestimate any election. So I don't go into any election thinking I have already won. With or without the outcome of the results, we would still have a lot of work to do, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Satisfied with the proceedings, the entire thing? I saw you looking at the results from the other regions as well.
You have to. So we're monitoring. So you are disturbing me small now. We have to monitor what's happening elsewhere. But we're satisfied that overall, number 10 is winning by a large margin and sending a strong signal to the party and the world that he is the people's choice.
Were you surprised by the good showings by some of the other candidates?
The predictions were that 3 candidates would do well. One would be the overwhelming favorite, and it is proving exactly as was predicted. So I'm not surprised.
All right. Thank you very much. And that's Communications Minister Esla Owusu speaking to us, reacting to the outcome of the results from the Greater Accra region. But when the results were being collated and counted, they were also monitoring the proceedings from other regions as well, and they seem satisfied. They believe that it's more work, it calls for more work, and they were expecting that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, their choice, was going to win, and they feel that he's won by a landslide, and it calls for more work for them to be done. And so we are waiting for the official declaration here at the YMCA Center, the Greater Accra Region Voting Center, from where we'll go to the headquarters of the Electoral Commission for the declaration of the entire result. Could you?
Richard Kojonyako, of course, bringing us the YMCA results, which means we now know the outcomes for the Greater Accra region, where Dr. Bawumia won by over 50% of the vote, and for the Upper West region, where he won by a resounding majority of 32 votes. Okay, we'll be bringing you more of these outcomes. In fact, we can bring you the OT region now. Our very own Peter Senu has been keeping an eye on things. Peter, you have the numbers. Give them to us. Right. We will be reconnecting with Peter Senu in the OT region. That's the next region from which we have numbers. In fact, I can share them with you right now because we're getting them through here in real time. So here is how things turned out in the OT region. Kennedy Ajapong had 5 votes. Alan Kojo Chermanting had 6 votes. Joe Gate had 0 votes. Kojo Poku had 1 vote. Owusu Akoto had 2 votes. Kwabena Ejay Ajapong had 0 votes. Francis Adai Nimo had 0 votes. Kofi Konedu Apreku had 0 votes. Boachi Ejiakon had 0 votes. And Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia, out of the 30 votes cast in the OT region, had 16 votes. I'll go through those numbers again. 30 super delegates voted in the OT region. 5 of them voted for Kennedy Ajapong. 6 of them voted for Alan Chermanting. None of them voted for Joe Gate. 1 of them voted for Kojo Poku. 2 of them for Owusu Akoto. Kwabena Ajapong had none of them voting for him. Same for Francis Adainimo and Kofi Konedu Apreku, as well as Boachi Ejiakon. 0 votes for all of them. And Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia had 16 votes out of 30. That's for the OT region. So, Doc, anything springing out?
Yeah, I'll start with the YMCA, Accra here. I am also not surprised because if we should go by what we heard earlier on, that there's an establishment candidate who is favored by the CEOs, by MPs, and here being the citadel of politics, as far as this election is concerned, this result is to be expected. All right. That said, you can also admire the performance of Kennedy Ajapong, because one would have thought that in Accra, given the fact that Alan has been in this show for a very long time, he would have made a strong showing. But it appears to me that events have taken a different turn, and Kennedy is, coming up. It tells you the effort Kennedy has put in. And for Accra, one interesting thing is that you have all shades of opinion here, and that Kennedy's, persona is accepted from this result. It appears to me that it's accepted gradually by the people and all that. But remember that for Alan, it's surprising because we're expecting a better performance other than what we are seeing here. If you look at Alan's campaign, I have not seen much of messages from him directly. Rather, you are getting a lot of the political issues, the real issues from his spokesman and the rest of them. And that perhaps is one of the factors that is explaining what we are having here, because for Accra, the elite, the top brass, they are here. And these are things that they want to see. What is it that you have under your sleeves that you want to share?
Speaking of top brass, of course, we've been keeping an eye on the headquarters, the NPP headquarters, one of the key voting locations. And our very own MFR Peru has been there for us. MFR has numbers. MFR, we can't wait. How did it all end at the headquarters? Right, MF5, you can hear us. We absolutely can't wait for these numbers. How did the HQ vote? Right, okay. Forgive us for that. We're working to reconnect with MFR Apo, who has been keeping an eye on things at the HQ. But why keep you in suspense? I have the numbers here. I'll share them with you. This is how the NPP headquarters voted in this special delegates election. So there were 176 total ballots cast at NPP HQ. No spoiled ballots. Let's hear it from the horse's own mouth. MFR, if you can hear us, the numbers.
Yes, Kojo, I could hear you. I'm sorry, but I have to give you results from and then interaction with the chairman of the elections committee. I'm sure you can still see the feed just as we are wrapping up in terms of the counting. But from what we have at the election headquarters, did I say election headquarters? From the NPP headquarters, Kennedy Ejapong, 32, Alan Semanting, 25, Joe Gate, 1. Mr. Kojo 0. Dr. Etia Koto 2. Kabana Ejeye Depong 3. Adenimo 6. Dr. Kofi Kunedu Apetu 0. Mr. Sematin Ejako 0. Dr. Mahmoud Aomia 107. Total valid votes cast 176. There was no sold ballot. So the total ballot here was 176 and the valid vote 176. I'll go over again the results from the NPP headquarters, Asylum Down, Accra. From the NPP Special Delegates Congress, Kennedy Ejapong, 32. Alan Semanting, 25. Joe Gate, 1. Kojo Poku, 0. Dr. Etie Akoto, 2. Kwabena Ejeye Depong, 3. Adenimo, 6. Dr. Kofi Kunedu Apeku, 0. Mr. Semantin Ejako, 0. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, 107. Total valid votes cast from the Asylum Down headquarters of the NPP is 176. There was no false ballot, and the total ballot this year is 176. So there's the results from here. And I know you're getting results from other parts of the country. We are heading to the election headquarters today, the Coalition Center, which is the Electoral Commission's office, to bring you more results in terms of the valid votes and then the certified results from the Electoral Commission today.
All right. Thank you so much, MFR, for that update. MFR Peru has been keeping an eye on things at the NPP headquarters, which was a voting center in this exercise. And the numbers are in. That was a very special voting center that we were keeping an eye on because of its central relevance. 176 superdelegates voted there. There were no spoiled ballots, which means there were 176 valid votes in total. And this is how they voted. Kennedy Ejapong had 32 votes. Alan Semanting had 25 votes. Joe Gate had 1. Kojo Poku had none. Dr. Efri Akutu had 2 votes. Kwabena Ejapong had 3 votes. Mr. Adainimo had 6 votes. Dr. KK Apreku had no votes. Mr. Chemanting Ejako, Bwachi Chemanting Ejako, had no votes at the NPP headquarters. And the Vice President, Dr. Baumia, had 107 of the 176 votes cast. We're bringing you more numbers, but Dr. Sasanti, something is emerging. Kennedy Ejapong seems to be performing so far in some of the places that we've been to, performing even better than Alan Semanting.
Yeah.
How is that to be explained?
Yeah, if you look at Kennedy, a very interesting personality. Interesting in the sense that he endears himself to the rank and file as well as the top brass and even the middle class, if you like. He has messages that resonate with each of the classes. And, he's somebody that, for very good reasons, some of the top brass believe that there are some certain difficult things that giving to anybody, he cannot alter them except Kennedy. That bold.
I want us to come back to that analysis in a short while, but we've got more numbers. So let's go straight to the Upper East region, okay? 31, actually, forgive me, the total number of votes will be shared by Albert Sorry. I believe we had 36 delegates voting, or 36 valid votes in the Upper East region. Albert Sorry has the details. Albert, how did these 36 people vote?
Your call has been put on hold.
Right, forgive us. We will get Albert Sorry to confirm numbers for us, but I can share with you right now that out of these valid votes, Kennedy Ohene Ejapong had 3. Alan Chermanting had 1. Joe Gate had none. Kojo Poku had none. Usefri Akoto had 1 vote. Kwabena Japon had none. Francis Adainimu had none. Kofi Konedu Apreku had none. Wache Jakon had none. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had 31. 31 out of the 36 valid votes counted. Kennedy Ejapong had 3. Alan Chermanting had 1. Usefri Akoto had 1. Dr. Bawumia had 31. Each and every one of the rest had none. That's how the Upper East region voted. Albert Sorry hopefully will join us with more details about the reactions from there. But again, Kennedy Ejapong trumps Alan Chermanting.
Yes.
And you were seeking to explain what might be behind this dynamic.
You know, Kennedy is a practical politician that he himself has alluded to this, that he tried to go down to the root, explain things to them in a very ordinary manner. Kennedy is somebody who can demonstrate to you as to how to fix the problem, right? And this is the time that people believe that there is the need for somebody who can really walk the talk, and they believe that that person, that individual is Kennedy. They need somebody who is strong and will be able to say anything and damn the consequence. You need somebody who is bold, fearless, and very courageous to take up certain bold decisions. So people believe that Kennedy is that type of candidate who is worth considering, and that is what is playing out. Right. And because of his appeal to rank and file as well as top brass and the middle class, you realize that in places where there is the population is dense, you see his performance. In places where you have sparsely, defined population, he is also there. It gives you an inkling as to how the party receives him. Remember that his loyalty, towards the party is not missing out here. People believe that he has served the party so well, so I'm sure they are paying him off. Right. In that regard. It's going to be very interesting when we get to the final elections.
Indeed. All right. Now, Albert Sorry joins us now. We just shared the numbers from the Upper East region. But, Albert, how are people reacting to yet another routing by Dr. Bawumia?
Yeah, so it was very brief. It appears that the consensus in the region is that this is an internal process, and so they do not expect any sort of too much of shouting and merrymaking and jubilation and all of that. So there wasn't so much of a jubilation per se, but we have a brass band playing and a few people are dancing. It also looks as if people are now dispersing because the election has officially been declared by the Electoral Commission. And so that is how it has been. It has been a very peaceful process in this region. There was no incident at all. The only thing is that the voting did not start at 7 a.m. as planned. It started at exactly 10 o'clock in the morning. And before 1 p.m., everyone had voted. They just waited till 1 o'clock before they started the counting and then eventually declared the results.
Right. Well, Dr. Bawumia takes 31 out of the 36 votes. Were there any spoiled ballots?
No, so The 36 is exactly the number of delegates we have in this region, and so there was no false ballots. All the ballots were valid. The 15 delegates, we are told, included the 15 regional executives, 15 constituency chairmen, and then the only MP that the MPP has in this region. Then we have the regional minister and 2 national council members. So these are the people who made up the 16 delegates who voted today. And so that is how it went.
All right, well, thank you for that. And that was our very own Albert Sori reporting from the Upper East region. Let's go to the Savannah region. And there, Isaac Nonya has been keeping an eye on things. Now, Isaac, you have the numbers, but you also have an intriguing story. There was an arrest. Am I right?
That's right. That is very correct.
Tell us what happened.
Yes, first with the arrest. The Savannah Regional organizer of the party, Nana Abuaje, he came late, after everybody has voted, to cast his vote.
Albert, forgive me. We're going to get the rest of that story in a moment, but we have to go now for the official announcement by the electoral officials at the NPP headquarters of the results there. All right, let's go straight across now.
Alan Kwejo Chamatin, 25 votes. Joe Gate, 1 vote. Kwejo Poku, 0. Owusu, every year Akoto, 2 votes. Kwabena J. Japan, 3 votes. Francis Adai Nimo, 6 votes. Kofi Kunedu Apraku, 0. Boache Jakon, 0. Mahamudu Baumia, 107. Total valid votes, 176. Rejected ballots, 0. Total votes in the box, 176. Thank you very much. We are done.
And that was something that we had to do just to demonstrate to you that the numbers that we are calling are valid. They are based on the actual confirmed figures from the Electoral Commission. Okay, you can trust all the numbers you get from us here from your election headquarters. Let's go back to the Savannah region. Isaac Nonya was telling us a tale of arrest regarding one of the party executives who turned up to vote. Isaac, pick up from where you left off. What happened next?
You know, the Savannah Regional Entity organizer, Nana Kwame Abuaje, he happened to be one of the 2 people who came in late. Then after casting his vote, he decided to show it to the 2 delegates, the agents who were standing there. Then a gentleman by name Isaku Kutuma, one of the agents of Alan Kwejo Chamatin, they wrote on him to prevent him from dropping the ballot because against the guidelines of this election. Then the Electoral Commission intervened by taking away the ballot papers of him and casting it on the spot. That that the police moved in and then took him away. I will put his in police custody at the regional command. Also, the few who were there, 2 other ballot papers were cancelled. We were told these are export ballot papers. Out of the 10, 2 took part in the election. Like Martin got 1. Nana Abuache Jako got 1 vote. Kenya Japan got 7 votes. And Dr. Baumia got 19 votes. So I would speak, the Electoral Commission officially declared the results. And then the vote started very late because between 7 and 9 a.m. it was raining here. It stopped somewhere 10, and then based on the numbers that was the vote, 30 of them, they came in and then they also finished in time. I would keep a good number of them are still here, trying to know, to authenticate the numbers that the various actors have gotten, while the agents of Alan Martin are insisting that Nana Abuaje, the regional organizer who voted and showed the ballot box to people, to be prosecuted according to the guidelines of the party.
Wow. Okay. So I guess this is how it all unfolded. 30 delegates voted. 2 votes were rejected, which means there were 28 valid votes.
Yes.
Out of which Kennedy Agyapong had 7.
Yes.
Alan Kyerematen had 1. Boakye Ejiakon had 1. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had 19.
That's correct.
And everybody else had 0.
Yes, 0.
Wow, Isaac, thank you for that. Thanks very much. And that's how the Savannah region voted. Now, one of the key regions in this race is the Asante region. There are many who believe in the next election, it is the Asante region that will make or break the outcome. In fact, when it comes to choosing the flag bearer, the Asante region is always a powerhouse. Especially since they are the source of so many delegates. Well, let's see if their super delegates are representative of the desires of the larger delegate group. Nana Yao Jima is there, and he has the numbers. Nana Yao, how did the Asante region vote?
But presently, the EC officials are going through the numbers once again to certify the results. But as we speak now, we have provisional results trickling in, and as you can see behind me, supporters of some of these candidates are excited about the provisional results that are out now. My colleague Nana Boakye will run us through the provisional results we have here. Nana, you have the numbers. Run us through it.
All right, so Nana, let me first start with the jubilation. It cuts across Kennedy Agyapong, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and then Alan Kyerematen. The results we have here, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, the first place had 6. Alan Kyerematen in the second had 10. Joe Gate had 0. Dr. Kojo Poku also had 0. Dr. Free Apoto had 5. Kwabena Ejiakon had 0. Honorable Ade Nimo had 0. Dr. Kofi Kunedu Apreku had 0. Mr. Kyerematen Ejiakon had 0. And then His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia had 97 votes, making it 118 votes. Initially, we should be having 119 votes in the Ashanti region, but unfortunately, the Member of Parliament for Chumamwa Beja South, Emmanuel Antrim, was not allowed to enter the polling sector to cast his vote. He came in 5 minutes late, so the EC officials did not give him the permission to enter the voting center to cast his votes.
So these are provisional results we are giving you now. The EC officials are still within their tents, and they are trying to again certify the results so that we have certified results we can give to our audience out there. Nana Boakye will once again run us through the figures. What we are having, what we know is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading, and it's a commanding lead for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the whole region of about 7 of the candidates in this election. Nana Boakye once again run us through your numbers.
All right, so Nana, this is the provisional results we have here. Kennedy Agyapong had 6, Alan Kyerematen had 10, Joe Gate had 0, Mr. Kojo Poku had 0, Dr. Efriye Akoto had 5, Kwabena Ejiakon had 0, Honorable Ade Nimo had 0, Dr. Kofi Kunedu Apreku had 0, and His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia had 97 votes, meaning that His Excellency won with over 80% votes in the Ashanti region. So as we speak, His Excellency the Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, his supporters here are jubilating as he wins the regional votes in the Ashanti region, I must say. So that's up on your screen. Here are supporters of Kennedy Agyapong who are also jubilating. As a matter of fact, their candidates also gathered some votes in the Ashanti region. Supporters of Honorable Alan Kyerematen have also camped themselves elsewhere, jubilating because their candidates also had some votes. But Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, his supporters are really jubilating, and they engaged us earlier, saying that this is an indication that November 4th they are going to win the flag bearership. Nana, over to you.
So the supporters you see in your shot jubilating are supporters of Kennedy Agyapong. Very excited supporters, even though though their candidate didn't win the Ashanti region, they believe that the numbers he had here are very encouraging. Mind you, this is the home region for about 7 of these candidates, and some of the candidates had 0 in their home region. So it should prove to you that if Kennedy Agyapong from the central region has been able to amass this number of votes in the Ashanti region, his supporters should be very happy by what they are seeing. Excitement all over. Just describe the mood.
Yeah, the most important thing is that we've qualified to the next stage.
How do you know you've qualified? Because this is the numbers we are seeing is just the Ashanti region.
Oh, we've got our coalition center bringing us all the figures from the other regions. We have qualified. As we have qualified from the collated votes from all the other regions. And for that matter, we are going to be in context and we are going to give them a run for their money.
We know that the vice president took a commanding lead, and from the numbers we are seeing, it looks like he's way ahead of your candidate. What makes you believe that when we get to the Congress itself, your candidate will be able to, pick up and lead when it comes to the Congress?
Less than 1,000 people out of 200 and over 1,000 people. It tells you that it's just a minute percentage. So the larger numbers, the real people, the real deciders are over 200,000. And they are going to decide. If you see the excitement behind us, it will tell you something. You saw a lot of these people who came to vote being hooted at. It tells you that the masses are not in support of what they are doing. And the masses are going to vote against them. And I'm telling you, Kennedy Agyapong has shown that he is leading the masses. And for that matter, we are hopeful and we believe that's going to be our day.
So your name?
Fred Archie.
So Fred is spokesperson for the Kennedy Agyapong campaign team. Excitement, and he believes that per the numbers, it's likely that when it gets to the main Congress itself, Kennedy or Agyapong will be able to make a statement and, if possible, win. I have with me one of the constituency executives of the Nshesu constituency. He played a major part of the Kennedy, the Dr. Baumia's campaign team. Also is Dr. Insiasari. Nana watching.
Okay, so we have Dr. Anthony Insiasari, the presidential advisor on health. He came here to monitor the electoral process. Doc, when you came here, when you monitored the process, how has it been for you?
I'll give 100% to the election committee. They've done perfectly well. Everything was going on smoothly. As for the people enjoying and celebrating, it's normal. But if you look at the election processes, everything went on perfectly well. I was here in the morning when it was raining. I observed it and came back during the counting. And I'm very happy and also very proud that I'm a member of the NPP. This is how elections are. And if you conduct the elections in this way, there will be no need for police. So far, so good.
Okay, so that being aside, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is set to have won the Ashanti region with some 97 votes. Is that what you were expecting?
Yes, I was expecting that. You see, all of us have been following what is going on. So you have to listen to the ground. I'm sure that all the people who came to vote listen to their people. They listen to the delegates.
Well, so that's how the Ashanti region is receiving the news. A resounding victory once again for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now you can see on our screen, if we can bring that back up, this is our dashboard. It's being updated in real time. All right, so if you keep your eye on it, and we'll be bringing it up onto the screen periodically, this is telling you in real time how the numbers are shaping up. Who is in lead, followed by whom and whom and whom and so forth. And you can see right now, looking at this dashboard, that out of 14 from the 17 voting centers, from 14 of them, you can see a lead of 68.6% for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So far, he's got 533 of the votes. Okay, you've got Alan Chamanting with 13.51%. Kennedy Agyapong with 13.51%. Alan Chamanting with 10.4%. And then from that point onwards is Dr. Efri Akoto with 3.99%. Adainimo has 1.03%. And then we've got Joe Gate with 0.5%. Francis Adainimo with 0.99%. We've got Kwajopoku with 0.35%. And 0.12% going to Dr. KK Apreku. And these numbers keep updating, all right? 67.1% right now to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Still 14 out of 17 centers collated so far, okay? We'll bring you the final official announcement from the Electoral Commission once they have done the totals themselves. But we are keeping you up to date with the confirmed numbers from each region, okay? There were 17 voting centers across the 16 regions, and we'll keep updating them as we go. All right. Now, Samuel Kojo Brace is at the NPP headquarters. He has the latest. Kojo?
Of the various camps and understand, or the party in general, and get their reaction to this particular election. So if you just joined us, this is the NPP's national headquarters at Asylum Down. I mean, the voting has ended and we've projected the results for you. Here, Dr. Bawumia led with, a huge margin, and over 100 votes. The closest contender got around 32. So it tells that Dr. Bawumia, in this part, he led it. Let's try and get reactions. The thing is that after the counting came to an end, there's been some debate that has ensued here. I've heard some people who are asking, does this represent the views of the masses? Some people believe yes, others believe no, that's not it. But let's try to get some reactions here. Chief, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So how do you see the whole thing has come to an end? What do you make of the results?
Well, thank Almighty God for what he has done. By the grace of God, it's the MPP which has won the election. Because checking from about 12 polling stations, precisely 12 regions, including the headquarters polling station, Dr. Bawumia, I guess, is about between 75 and 80%. This is very overwhelming. He has subsumed his contestant or his opponent. But we are humble that we have won this one. Even though the official result has not come, we have won this one. So we are also preparing at the same time to win the 4th November, to become the flag bearer of the MPP, and then move forward to lead the MPP as a standard bearer, and then win the 2024 presidential election and lead us to Jubilee House by the grace of God.
There were some issues that we had. What do you make of all of those issues that came up?
These are some of these things, and the normal party internal wranglings, which is expected. But our hope is that sometimes when things happen, there is no need for you to vent your spleen by using all strong words against the party hierarchy. What you have to do is, if it's a national security issue, you report to the police and they will deal with it. Because it's a lawful country, and if you think it's a party internal issue, there is party internal mechanisms that you have to report it to the appropriate quarters, they resolve it. These are some of the things. But to all intents and purposes, we think that we have won. The whole MPP has won. Better luck next time for the losers, but other people.
Well, I'm not sure there are losers here. You have only pruned out the numbers,
yes. So what is important is that at the end of the day, the 5 contestants will also go into the polls on the 4th of November. We expect, by the grace of God, Dr. Bawumia still excel and then win that position and then break the 8-year jinx of the Ghanaian 4th Republican Constitution politics.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's try and get more views here. Chief, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
What do you make of the results that have come in so far?
So far, so good. It's democracy. And 10 people, we have to vote and get 5 out of 10. And so far, so good. We've had a peaceful, successful, and a very comfortable election. Despite 1 or 2 hitches that happened at 1 or 2 regions, out of 7 places that we are voting, you can tell it's been better. And as we always say, the youth, as we always say, when it comes to political party, nothing comes close to MPP.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Odom, for me. Let me bring in Professor Christopher Amayao Ekumfi, once Ghana's Minister for Education, and in fact, once a Pro Vice Chancellor for my university, University of Cape Coast. Great to have you here, Bro.
Good.
I mean, the election has ended. What do you make of how the process went and the results?
I think generally it was smooth. We are hearing of one or two incidents, but apart from that, everything was smooth. And the party has decided. I hope so. Because whatever we say here is not official. We are yet to hear the official result. But it looks like we have a clear winner.
Okay. I mean, there were some people who were arguing that if you look at the result, the margin that the leader would have in this one, maybe the party should go with the person. Is this something you buy into?
Allow the party to discuss it. That is what some people think. If we're going to go strictly by our own regulations, maybe we shouldn't question the second round. Okay. But again, allow the party to